You may find yourself living in a teardrop trailer. And you may find yourself in another part of the world. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
What the fuck when things fail? Number 13. So, I'm back in California. I get the letter from the divorce judge, the hearing that I went to, saying that I was entitled to $3,000, and that's it. And we had, 2 vehicles. We had a house together. Oh, like, keep my vehicle and he keeps his vehicle or whatever. But, like, and all the shit in it, like furniture and everything. Out of everything that we had, a whole farm, homestead, acreage, ponds, fixed up farmhouse, encapsulated crawl space, that I was paid for by, because of me, and the down payment because of me, and everything, out of all of it, I got $3,000. So, I guess I did need a lawyer, and that didn't make sense to me in a 50-50 state, and I had planned on fighting it, but my health was just getting so crazy to the point where I was all of the sudden, unable to move my legs and just falling over and shaking really bad to the point of falling over. And, needing help taking a shower, standing up to take a shower, and it wasn't all the time. It was like sudden, and maybe few times a week it started out. But the burning, me feeling like I was on fire all the time, was getting worse and worse and worse, to the point where I couldn't get out of bed. I would just wake up and feel like there were flames all over me, and my muscles would start like going like, crazy all over, and I just, I had no energy, anything. I would wake up getting sick, and nothing, like just stomach acid. So with all of that going on and everything else, I was really struggling, and new place. And obviously I had made friends like with his friends over the course of the 6-8 months I'd been back and forth. But really I didn't have my own friends. I had a couple of them. But no one I knew really well that I could talk to about what was going on with me. And it was in November of 2018, when maybe even earlier, that I finally went to a neurologist. I had been going to doctors and everything, but I finally got into a neurologist, and he straight up just told me I was making it up, and that I was crazy, and it was all in my head, and it was like PTSD related. And this is my story of how I got to here, like, homeless and disabled. But in my other stories, you'll see that what had happened the night before I woke up like this was nothing compared to the rest of my life. And I was like, I don't think so. I don't think it's PTSD. Like, this is real. These are real symptoms. Like, you can see them happening, It's like, oh, it's just in your brain. So he referred me to a psychiatrist who wouldn't see me because of my lack of insurance at the time. I was paying for all of this out of pocket. I was getting, the neurologist had me get MRIs, 3 MRIs, a lot of blood work, breath tests, urine tests, all sorts of things that I was paying out of pocket for because I was still working for residency in California. Got my license, had an address, but I had to wait. So, and then apply for, the Medi-Cal. And so I was waiting on that. And, I didn't have a choice. So I got a job, working in a butcher shop of all places in the smokehouse cutting bacon. And it was hard work and fast-paced and cold because I was in a refrigerator. And honestly, I like that kind of work, and I've always, been a server or a bartender or something where I'm constantly moving and on my feet and things like that. And at this point, I'm still thinking, it'll go away. This is just temporary. They'll find something wrong with me. It'll get fixed, whatever. And I'm working on my own things, that I know because of my natural health and holistic nutrition background. I'm treating myself for different infections and Lyme and co-infections and all these things just in case, because I was in Indiana. I had millions of ticks on me. We were doing this little nature walk, herbal walk with one of my herbalist friends, and the whole time we're just picking ticks off of each other. So I'm like, yeah, it might be Lyme or something. And honestly, that's still not ruled out. But that's a whole nother thing that doctors don't like to say that it is. And also I have a lot of other symptoms that aren't that don't go along with that. But I have a lot that do. So anyway, brain fog. I'm going to the doctors, spending money I don't have on tests, trying to keep up with rent. So I get this job, and they liked me there. And I liked the job actually. But after a while, I was calling in a lot. I couldn't get out of bed. I was leaving the smokehouse to get sick, and struggling, really, really, really struggling to do the duties of the job and stand up. And there were days where I couldn't walk. My leg was just paralyzed, so I would just be standing at the packing table instead. And then my hands would get paralyzed, and then I'd get all that crampy weird things. And after so long, they worked with me. They were amazing, trying to help me and working with me and everything. But after so long of me just being I can't do this. And having to have people step away from what they were doing to help me with things that were my job, I felt bad. And I had to resign, basically, from the job. And after I resigned, you know, I couldn't continue to pay rent. And so the guy was like, well, just move in with me, put your stuff in storage and stay with me. He had a roommate at the time. Her boyfriend was staying there. It's a 2-bedroom house. Well, kind of 3-bedroom house, but he had a movie room, a computer room, whatever. So I didn't even have a room. All my shit's still in my car. I'm living out of my trunk. I called it my car closet because I couldn't drive. And I just used it as a closet for my clothes, and it was parked in front of the house. So I ended up staying there, and in exchange, I was, doing all the cooking, getting all the food, all the things for the house, and, didn't have a room, I didn't have a place, I didn't have anything, and I just kept getting worse. And, finally, I did end up getting insurance. I'm not sure. It was like, I think then like a year later. And then in January of 2020, I'd been going through all these tests. I was a lab rat. I was literally in a doctor's office 2 to 3 times a week for 2 years, getting blood drawn, getting urine tests, getting whatever, muscle tests, touching things, like whatever they could think of. And finally, in January of 2020, my neurologist wrote down that I had conversion disorder, functional neurological disorder, shook my hand, sent me to the psychiatrist, and said, good luck. My general practitioner, he's like, if we figure out what's going on with you, I'll be famous. I was like, well, at least name it after me, if it's something new. But no, there was nothing. He was out of ideas. My neurologist sent me off. But in order for me to get the insurance, I had to see one of the state's doctors. And when I walked in, she just looked at me and she said, "You're too pretty to be sick." And basically told me I was faking it, and told me to sniff lavender oil. So, and for next time, more doctor stories.
Let the days go by, let the water hold me down. Let the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground.